Open Google right now. Go ahead, search for something, anything. Best pizza near me. How to fix a leaky faucet. Why do cats purr? Look at what happens. You get an answer. Right there, at the top. You don't have to click anything. You don't have to visit any websites. Google just tells you. Convenient, right? Helpful. Time-saving. What if I told you that this simple convenience is quietly destroying the internet as we know it? What if I told you that every time you get an instant answer without clicking, you're participating in the slow motion collapse of the entire web economy? What if the thing that's supposed to make the internet better is actually killing it? Here's how the internet used to work. You searched, Google showed you links, you clicked, websites got visitors, visitors meant money, money meant more content, a perfect circle, search engines and websites feeding each other. But now we have AI summaries. Now Google just scrapes the information from websites and serves it to you directly. No clicking required. Sounds great, right? More efficient, more convenient. Who wants to waste time visiting different websites when AI can just give you the answer? But here's the problem. If nobody visits the websites get no money. And if websites get no money, you probably think, well, people will still click sometimes. Not everything can be answered in a summary. Complex topics still need full articles. That seems reasonable. AI can handle simple questions, but surely people will still click for detailed information, original reporting, in-depth analysis. Wrong. Completely wrong. The numbers are terrifying. In 2022, about 26% of Google searches were zero-click, meaning people got their answer and left without clicking anything. Annoying for websites, but manageable. By 2024, that number hit 60%. 60%. More than half of all searches now end without a single click. When Google's AI overviews appear, some news websites see their traffic drop by 80 to 90%. The Daily Mail, one of the biggest news sites in the world, loses 9 out of 10 readers when AI gives the summary instead. Worth.com lost a third of their traffic in the single month that AI summaries were introduced. 1 month. Think about what this means. Websites spend money to research, write, and publish content. AI scrapes that content, summarizes it, and serves it to users who never visit the original source. The AI gets the benefit, the user gets the convenience, and the website that created the content gets nothing. It's like someone standing outside a restaurant, intercepting customers, and giving them a description of the food so detailed they don't need to go inside and actually buy anything. The restaurant starves, but the interceptor thrives. But it gets worse, much worse, because right now, AI companies still need those websites to exist. They're parasites that need their host to survive. AI systems are crawling the web, scraping content, learning from human-created information. But what happens when they've scraped everything? When they've built databases so comprehensive they don't need to rely on live websites anymore? They're already moving in that direction. AI companies are building their own massive indexes. They're creating self-contained knowledge bases. Soon, they won't need Google. They won't need websites. They'll just need their own data. And then what happens to the open web? We're witnessing something that's never happened before in human history. We're watching the medium that revolutionized information sharing slowly cannibalize itself. The tools we built to organize and access information are now making the sources of that information irrelevant. It's like building the perfect library and then discovering that the library is so good at summarizing books that nobody reads the actual books anymore. So publishers stop publishing, and eventually there are no new books for the library to summarize. The tech companies say this is progress. They say AI summaries make information more accessible, more democratic. Why should people have to wade through multiple websites when AI can just give them the answer? But they're not asking the crucial question: where will the answers come from when all the websites that create original content go bankrupt? Bill Gates thinks AI might kill Google, but that's thinking too small. AI might kill the entire model that made the modern internet possible. How do you run a news website when 90% of your traffic disappears overnight? How do you pay journalists when nobody clicks on articles? How do you create new content when there's no economic incentive to create content? How do you maintain the internet when the internet no longer pays for itself? And what happens to information quality when the only websites left are optimized not for human readers, but for AI crawlers? Some websites are trying to fight back. They're blocking AI crawlers, taking AI companies to court, arguing that scraping their content for summaries violates copyright. But it might be too late. The users are already trained. Why click when you can get an instant summary? Why visit a website when the AI has already done the work for you? We've created a system where convenience trumps sustainability, where efficiency destroys the thing that makes efficiency possible. And here's the really disturbing part. We're not just talking about websites dying. We're talking about the collapse of the economic model that funds investigative journalism, scientific research, educational content, cultural criticism, all the things that require human intelligence, creativity, and expertise. When those disappear, what will AI systems train on? Each other? Old data? Increasingly outdated information from the last era when humans bothered to create original content? We might be creating the dead internet, not because bots are pretending to be human, but because we've eliminated the economic incentives for humans to create anything worth reading. The truth is, we don't know how this ends. Maybe new economic models will emerge. Maybe AI companies will start paying content creators directly. Maybe we'll figure out how to preserve the open web while still enjoying the convenience of AI summaries. But right now, we're conducting a massive experiment with the information ecosystem that built our modern world. And we're doing it in real time with no safety net, no backup plan. Here's the irony. AI needs human-created content to be intelligent, but AI is destroying the economic incentives for creating that content. It's like an ecosystem where the predator is so successful it eliminates its own food source. What happens next might determine whether the internet remains a vibrant space for human knowledge and creativity, or becomes a static museum of information from before the AI revolution. So the next time you get an instant answer from Google without clicking on anything, remember, you're participating in an experiment. We're testing whether the internet can survive being too efficient. The results aren't in yet, but the early data is concerning. We built AI to serve us information. We might have accidentally taught it to eat the internet instead.